Hello, Thrifty music collectors, and you watching this video on YouTube. I'm Tim, and uh, I'm coming at you from the music zone. This is another episode of Tim's Thrifty Music. Well, I have a lot to show you in this episode. Uh, this is New Year. It's a first episode of 2015. I have a lot, like I said, I have a lot to show you in this episode. The majority of these are from what I spent on New Year's Eve throughout the day. I think it was a new one-day total for me for a number of spins. I spun 17 albums altogether throughout the day. Uh, with that said, I'll start showing them to you. Grab a little bit at a time. So to start off with, first one up, Johnny Rivers, Outside Tits. This one's on Big Tree Records from 1977. Yes, this is one of his later albums. This is pretty much has around his the last of his hits on it. This is the one with slow dancing, or Swing to the Music, slow dancing on it. And it also has Curious Mind, which was somewhat of a hit for him. It's not a bad album in my opinion. I enjoyed the album. The next one is another Johnny Rivers. It's called Not a Through Street. It's on from '83 on Priority Records. It's has more Christian music on it. He does a cover of An Uncloudy Day on here that I really like. He also does How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, and it has more Christian words to it. He also does Reach Out on here and Stand By Me, covers of them. And I thoroughly enjoyed this one also. Okay, this is down by Tommy Rowe. It's on ABC from I think it's like let's see the year on it. I think it was like 71, something like that. I think I'm gonna have to look at the album itself. Oh yeah, it is 71. I see it down on the back here. It's had the title is Beginnings. He does some covers on here and then some self-pen stuff, like he had a hit with Stagger Lee that he does on here. He also does a good cover of Brown Eyed Dancing Man and also Lottie Miss Claudie. And I just thoroughly enjoyed this album also. Okay, here's some Kenny Rogers that I enjoyed. This is Love Lifted Me, and on here he does a cover of Abraham Martin and John, and he does a medley of that with Precious Memories, and I really like how he does that. And he also has that, but he had a hit with Love Lifted Me on here, and also had a minor hit with the song While the Feeling's Good on here. And this is on United Artists. This is from 76. This is one I had gotten from that Mark Dr. Deadwax over back in December of 2013. It's a Canadian pressing, and it's just a good Kenny Rogers album. Here's a guy that I gotten into. I have a few of his albums. It's Back Rack, Make It Easy on Yourself. He's written hits for so many artists, and so when he put so get uh, uh, hearing some of his albums where he performs these songs, and a lot of times it might be instrumentals on it, or might have other singers that like backup singers just singing this music. It's just nice and relaxing listening to and stuff, but it's still interesting hearing them how he does it. And I just really enjoy his music. This one's from, I think this one was from '69, if I remember right. It's on A&M Records. Okay, now I'm to the ones that I put on not New Year's Eve. First off, the Babies, Union Jacks. This is from 1980 on Chrysalis. This one this one contains the hit "Back on My Feet Again," and it's just an album that I just enjoyed this album. It's just with John Waite and all the others. It's just a album that I just enjoy listening to. Next up is Average White Band on Atlantic from '76. This is Soul Searching. Of course, it has the song Soul Searching and Queen of My Soul. Those were like the hits off of here. And it's pretty much soul music, like people usually classify it as blue-eyed soul and stuff. And I just like listening to stuff like this. That they're they were a Scottish band and just playing soul music. And also I listened to Cut the Cake, which is from '75 on Atlantic by them. And of course this has the hit Cut the Cake on it. And it has like Schoolboy Crush and If I Ever Lose the Seven. Okay, and after I listen to them, I keep bumping on to the tray that I have the stand I have the laptop on. I listen to some Atlanta Rhythm section. Yes, some good southern rock. First up is a rock and roll alternative. This is on Polydor from now I'm looking for the year on here, from '76. This one has the hit "So Into You" on it, and I just really like Atlanta Rhythm section. I saw them play in my hometown of Mason City, Iowa, back in, I don't remember, it was like '80 or '81 or something like that. I know it was before I went into the Air Force. They were the headline group. Before them was like Nitty Gritty Dirt Band had played in that concert, and when they were going by the Dirt Band. But they also have the song Sky High is also on this album that I really like. This Champagne Jam. This one's from '78. This one has, of course, the song Champagne Jam on it, and also Imaginary Lover, which were hits for them. And I enjoy those songs also, and it's another album I enjoy. Okay, next one is another one by them. It's compilation album of like their first two albums. It's on MCA from '73. It's just a self-titled album, Atlanta Rhythm Section. It's two albums that gatefold, and I'll just let you see the outside of the artwork. And it's just an enjoyable 2 LP set. I just get into their music. Like I said, that one's from '73, so it's like their first two albums. It's just good southern rock music, early music by them. After that, I was listening to some more Kenny Rogers that I had gotten in with that other one from that I got from Dr. Deadwax. Yeah, because that was in. They were in with the box that contained 62 albums I had gotten from him. So, first up is Kenny Rogers duets. This is duets he did with with Sheena East and Dottie West and Kim Carnes, and this is from looks like '83. It's on Liberty, and of course it has like We've Got Tonight and Every Time Two Fools Collide, and well, the songs that you're used to hearing him sing with those three different artists. It's just an enjoyable album. Go from that to another one. This is from a German pressing. Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town, on a label I'd never heard of before, and even when I was in Germany, it's a label called Colorado. It's Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town. Of course, that's around his first album. Of course, it has Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town and Reuben James, and also has Keep the Call on it, which I really like. And next is Kenny Rogers' Greatest Hits, and it's on Liberty from 1980. Of course, it has a lot of his big hits on it, so I don't really need to go into that too much. There's one that I hadn't really heard of before, and most of these are Canadian. Around all these I got from him are Canadian pressings, except for that one that I told you, that's a German pressing. This one I hadn't heard of before. This is titled Love Is What We Make It. This is from '86 on Liberty. And I don't really recognize any of these songs as being hits on it. It's just one of his standard albums from around the mid '80s. And here's Gideon. It's from 1980 on Liberty. And I noticed this one all the songs were composed by Kim Carnes and Dave Ellingson on here. So it has Don't Fall in Love with the Dreamer on here. And this big one I've recognized, of course, he does sing. That one he does sings with Kim Carnes. Okay, and then I listened to another Kenny Rogers album, and it's one that I had bought brand new. It's only one of all these that in this video that I bought brand new, and this I bought brand new back in the 80s when it first came out that said they don't make them like they used to. This is from on RCA from back in '86, and I don't remember there being any hits off this one. Just at the time, this was when rap and hip hop was being played so much on radio, and I could never get into rap and hip hop, and they were playing that so much on radio, so I was going more towards country at the time. So I was, and it's and not much later than that. I pretty much cut down a lot on my radio listening. But so that's probably a song I like off this one is 20 Years Ago. Like I said, that's from '86 on RCA. After that, of course, I switched gears some. That switched to the Rolling Stones, Big Kids, High Tides, and Green Grass. Of course, this is a hits album of theirs on London Records. This is a stereo copy of it. Now, I can't remember what year it is. It's like 67 or 69. I can't quite remember the year. It has their hits, and that's more the time period I like of their music is from the 60s, like the earlier 60s and 60s, where they were playing more like blues and more blues-influenced music. And next up, I had to play with being New Year's Eve. I had to play some 70s bubblegum and pop. The Partridge Family album, of course, the Partridge Family. This is on Bell Records. It's from 1970. Of course, this has "I Think I Love You" on here, and "I Can Hear Your Heartbeat." And yes, I like their music and stuff. And I was posting these on some groups in Facebook, and I was getting comments on this album even the following day of people liking the Partridge Family and stuff like that. Found out there's more people than I thought that really liked it in some of these groups I was posting it in, which surprised me. And so just finding stuff like that out, and with me liking all kinds of 70s music, and I know there's a lot of people that do, made me decide to create a new new group on Facebook called 70s Music Geeks, which is for people that just enjoy 70s music, 70s music lovers, and where we can show our 70s music, no matter whether it be vinyl, CD, cassette, or like 8-track, whatever, and we can just talk about it. And I'll post a link to it in the comments down below, or in the right down below. I'll post a link to that, so if you're interested, you can check it out or join the group. Okay, after that, I'm down to my final three for New Year's Eve. After that, three that were really hits. First one up was Nelson, Son of Nelson. This is from on RCA or RCA Victor. This is from 72. this is one of my favorite ones of his. This one has the song "Spaceman" on it. My brother had it when I was when I was a teenager, and I've always loved the song "Spaceman" ever since I first heard it. And this also has like "Remember Christmas" on it, and also one that can't really be could never really be played on radio is "You're Breaking My Heart." For some certain for certain word that keeps getting repeated throughout the song in it. And of course it ends off with "the most beautiful world in the world." Then after that, I spun a little touch of Schmelson in the night. In this one, he pretty much does some old standards throughout on the album. He does stuff like "Lazy Moon," "For Me and My Gal," "Making Whoopee," "I Wonder Who's Kissing Her Now," and "As Time Goes By." It's just a thoroughly enjoyable album throughout. And this is on RCA from '73. And then the last one from New Year's Eve is this one. I had found this at a thrift store. I didn't pay more than $1 for it. It's Harry Nelson's Greatest Hits. It's from like 78 or 77 or 78, something like that. Oh, 78. It's German pressing. And it's just has pretty much a Greatest Hits album of his, stuff from all of his albums up to that time, and this one is real clean for finding it at a thrift store, and I could not believe it, and I just really like it having out because it's cleaner than my other Nelson albums. So having real clean copies of the songs I like, is nice to have too on here. Okay, next up is my first spin of 2015. It's John Baldry, "Everything Stops for Tea." Yes, this is that a lot of people know him better as Long John Baldry, like the blues singer from like the 60s, or the blues musician from the 60s. He's the one that helped Elton John and Rod Stewart both get their starts. As a matter of fact, on this album, Elton John produced side 1, Rod Stewart produced side 2, and this was the second of 2 comeback albums of his from the early 70s. This one's from '72. It's on, trying to remember which. Okay, it's on Warner Brothers. And like some of the tracks on here are covers, like he does Seventh Son on here, and Iko Iko. I am Jubilee Cloud I enjoy on here also, and Other Ain't That I Like, Hambone. Of course, Everything Stops for Tea is a good song. There weren't any hits off here, but I just thoroughly enjoyed this album. And I got comments from others on Facebook that have heard this album, that they like this album too. They thought that was a good way to start off 2015. Then after that, they're on George Baker selection, Bloom Blanca. This is from on also Warner Brothers. It's from I think it's 75, something like that. Can't see the date too well on here. But the only hit on this one is title track on here. This band's from Holland, and it's an interesting album. I'll just put it that way. I liked it, but I really like the title track. That's the main reason why I bought it. I bought it at a thrift store, so I didn't pay too much for it. Then the rest of these are all by the same artist. This is a folk artist that I really like from the 60s and 70s. That's Joan Baez. Okay, the first one is the album Where Are You Now, My Son? This is white label promo. It's from 1973 on A&M. And there weren't any hits off this one, but what's interesting, side 2 is one track. It's over 22 minutes for that one track, for that one song. Of course, some of it's spoken word, some of it singing on it. Next up is another one of hers. It's a double album. It's Blessed Dar. This one has like the night her big hit, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, and I also like the Brand New Tennessee Waltz, and on here she also does stuff like Heaven Help Us All. I really enjoy, and she does covers of Help Me Make It Through the Night, and Let It Be, and Put Your Hand in the Hand. Like I said, this is on Vanguard. It's from 73. It's a double album set. It's a gatefold. It's just those lyrics inside in the gatefold. Next up is Diamonds and Rust. It's from 75 on the A&M. Of course, this is a classic album of hers. Of course, it has the song Diamonds and Rust, and she also does a cover of Jackson Browne's Fountain of Sorrow, and also does a cover of Stevie Wonder's Never Dreamed You'd Leave in Summer, and a cover of Bob Dylan's Simple Twist of Fate, and the Allman Brothers Blue Sky, and John Prine's Hello in There, and Janis Ian's Jessie, and then she ends it off with a medley of I Dream of Jeannie and Danny Boy. After that, it was another white label promo copy of 76 is Goffwind on A&M. There weren't any hits off this one, but and there I just enjoyed this album. Also, it's just some more of her beautiful singing. After that, from 73, Joan, it's Hits, Greatest, and Others. This is on Vanguard. Of course, it has her hits, and then covers like Dangling Conversation and Eleanor Rigby and There But for the Fortune. And the final album I have for this video is David's album. This is from 69. It's on Vanguard, and this one she does some aren't really any hits off it, but she does cover stuff like Green Green Grass of Home and Well, the Circle Being Broken and Just a Closer Walk with Thee. And another enjoyable Joan Baez album. Well, that's all I have for you this time. Like I said, check out Sunday's Music Geeks Facebook group if you love 70s music, and I'll put that post a link down below. That's all I have for you this time. Until next time, take it easy and keep on rocking.